Hey, hi. This is Raw. I have a beef round eye. I got this from Sam's. It's Angus. I guess it's a pretty good buy. It's like 30 bucks. So what I want to try and do is I'm going to try and do Cecina. Now, I'm not a butcher by any means, but I think I can take care of it. So what we want to do is we're going to trim the fat, get rid of everything we can on the outside, then we're going to split it down the middle and making it one thick size, and then we're going to try, or I'm going to try, to do it the thinnest possible. It's kind of like beef jerky, so I'm going to give it a hell of a shot, see what happens. But I got to drain, I got to clean it up, make sure all the blood goes in the sink and all that stuff, and we're going to trim it. Well, I want to try and trim it as best as possible. Grabbing this, we'll throw all the fat. Pretty good. Pretty much clean. You cut it right down the middle. I'm not a butcher, so I'm doing my best. Doing my best. I'm gonna cut them apart anyway. But I was trying to do a whole row, but you know, I'm not a butcher. It's actually what this is the size we want anyway. So I want to hang this meat. I'm gonna salt it. Maybe stop playing around and do what I know what to do. Because all we need is these pieces. No problem. No problem. It's gonna be some nice carne asada. Butchery. It's a butchery, man. I know the butchers are going, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I know. I'm trying. I can be sitting on my sofa and talking bad about another butcher, right? No, I'm here trying it out. And it's not the knife, it's the butcher. So, this is my first time trying it though. Don't screw. This is it. Oh, this is good. This is fajita. This is fajita too. This would be a great fajita. It's a bit thick though. I don't think my skills are going to be good to cut it in half. Okay. So I have fajita here. This is great. Look at that. This is awesome. It's one hell of a meal right here. So, one meal. Two to three people. Okay. So now, what do we do with this? We're supposed to salt it and hang it. But I hate flies. We used to do this in Mexico. We used to hang this meat. But there's a way. You gotta add salt. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Not as good as, you know, the professionals, but I'm an amateur. Look at that. Gotta get it. Okay. Here we go. That's a beautiful steak. All the smaller parts on that side. Okay. You know, I know the butchers are looking at me and going, ah, man, you need a lot more practice. Well, I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. See, that just fell apart. It was attached to the other piece. But this is not bad. See, this is... Again, you know, here, it's all together. Even though it's a little bit, we can take it apart. This is together. Take it apart. Oh, this is the beginning of that cut. That's why it's like this. It's good. As long as it's thin. The main purpose here is to salt it and dry it. This is jerky, you know, we're making Mexican jerky basically. My uncles used to do this. I used to watch my uncles go buy the meat, or they would cut it, and they would dry it outside. They would add salt. You add salt, you can add oil. You gotta add salt. Then you hang it for about an hour or two. It needs to be hot. I'll be out there because I don't want no damn flies on my meat. So I'll be out there with I'm gonna make it as short as possible. And I'm just going to be there making sure they don't land. If I need to salt this though. I need to prepare the salt. So this is Mexican salt. But it's very thick. We can't use thick salt. Because it's a very thin meat. So in my mind, I'm going to ground this if it's possible. It seems like it's wet. It's a lot of salt. But I'm going to pulverize it. I better make extra. You can always use it on the rest of the dishes. So. Not too bad. So. It is moist, but it's ground up now. So now I just gotta dry it now. There's always something. It's too wet. So I'm gonna dry it on my little oven. Okay, so I dried the salt after I minced it with that blender. So I put it in my oven and it's drying. I'm going to give it another minute or so. And I want to crush the salt in here. I cleaned it. I just think it's going to be too much water in here for cleaning it. So here's the salt and parchment paper. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's powder. This is what we want. So, what do I want to do? This place would be. I didn't know this is butchered. This is beautiful. For my first time, not too bad, huh? I guess. Some are better, some are worse. There we go. Sucked. So I put this out on the line. I had to stay there for like 2.5 hours shooting flies. I don't got many flies, but I hate flies, so I mean I won't do this. So I'm gonna do this. If I like this, I'll build a box, and then I can put the meat and flies. Nothing will get to it. And it'll be air dry. But it looks beautiful. So I'm gonna air dry it first. I'm gonna do it on the oven. These big ones too. I'm gonna run it for about 3 hours, and then I'm gonna coat it with honey, some pepper flakes, and some red pepper. Okay, so here, what they do in Mexico is they add lard. And I had some lard from the video, if you guys saw the video for the pork ribs. All those things were amazing. It took a while because I got them super crunchy on the outside, super tender on the inside. And that is my favorite. It takes time to do that. So this is some of that grease that you use. And you don't want to use bacon grease because it's got a lot of salt. You want to use the grease from ribs or pork that it doesn't come pre-salted like majorly, because bacon grease, I've used it and it's horrible. Now, it's horrible for me because it's got a lot of salt. If you love salt, then it's perfect for you. So, you know, to each his own. But I'm adding a little bit of lard. To the meat. Now, if I was a good butcher, I would have all the meat almost basically the same size. But it's a learning curve. You know, I never said I was a butcher, but I'm not afraid to try. So, and then you learn. You know, every time you do something, it makes you aware of like certain things and how things are done, and you learn, and then you make your own decisions of what you want to go forward with, like what you want to do. I've never done beef jerky. I got the oven for it, but I've never done it. But since I was doing this, I figured I might as well do cecina, which is this, and some beef jerky. So that's what I did. And that's what I'm doing. So here's beef jerky. Here's the honey with chili. This is amazing. Honey and chili and a little bit of salt. That is good. Real good. Okay, I want to do a recap on this. So, the meat itself, this meat is amazing. It's probably one of the best tacos I had in a long, long time. And I cook tacos all the time. That being said, the way it tasted better as I used Pam in the beginning for a couple pieces, and it just didn't go good with the meat. It didn't mix good with the flavors. When I put the lard in just on one side, I did it on both sides. It actually just the meat got more complex in flavors by 100%. It was just crazy. The more you cooked it, the longer you cooked it at a low heat, the more flavor you got out of it. And when you bite into it, the meat comes apart. You would think it would be like jerky, but it wasn't. It was really soft, but it had a lot of flavor. This is what they cook in Mexico, cecina, and that's how they do it. But they do it on a grill, or you can do it on a disc, on a pan. You don't really need a disc. But I wanted to hang the meat outside, but I hate flies. I was out there for 2 hours and a half, waiting on both sides, making sure nothing stood and nothing stood on them, just to make sure. But I am not going to do that. If I do this again, I'm building the box with a screen, all 6 sides, and let air flow from any which way, and let the sun hit it. But I would build a box because it'll take me 2 hours to build a box, and I can use it all the time. I can make it where it's like, you know, I can take it apart, put it back together when I want to dry meat. But look at this. Look at how crazy this is, and it's not. It doesn't smell. It's not going bad. I can leave it out here because it's been in the sun for about 2.5 hours, so it got darker. So I'm gonna let it air dry out here because I hate flies. It's supposed to be outside in the air. I could put a fan to it, but I don't wanna. I wanna test it out, see what it does. This is what I ended up doing. Maybe I can do it sideways. I don't know. Let's see. I can wash the pans again. That's not a problem. I wash them all the time before I use them anyway. Look at that. For doing, I'd rather do this than have flies on it. So I'll leave it out of here for, you know, for another 4 or 5 hours. Before I go to bed, I will take them down, put them in the back, put them in the fridge. But I guess you can leave them outside. If it's salted, well salted, the whole entire meat has salt. Everything has salt, perfectly. I'd say this is the way. The meat's amazing. I've never had this before. So anyway, thank you for watching. It was actually pretty awesome.